Hey everybody, welcome back to the HIT.OR.DIE podcast with your hosts Jake Saldai and Chad Rothford. Yes, we still exist.
Welcome back. It's only been a month.
But believe it or not, our listens and stuff still haven't changed.
I'll take it.
We've been off.
It was
for a
Labby,
while.
right? Labby it's like a month ago. A lot's happened in a since we had Labby on. Make sure you're following on all our platforms: Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at HIT.OR.DIE podcast. Download, subscribe on YouTube. Download and 5 stars, all the good stuff. But the amount of things that have literally happened since we've last recorded. One, it was a nice break.
It was a nice break.
Like it's
Sometimes it's nice.
Yeah,
It's just,
we've been taking more breaks.
it's fun to be like dads. It's fun to be dads, not have to worry about,
Well, I was thinking about that. When we started, we each had one child.
Yeah.
You have 3 total now. I have 2, and all are now doing sports.
Everything.
So we have soccer 4 days a week. It's been
Our only day
we
off
weren't
Friday.
ready for this. Nobody gave me the heads up on divide and conquer. What sucks is I'm gonna have to miss some of each games, to go.
Too.
But that's kind of where we've been, to be honest with you. Doing a lot of stuff. But again, since we've been away, you had the Little League World Series. California won. Did you watch any of that?
I watched a couple innings of the entire entire Little League World Series, but not much. It just, I don't know. The Little League World Series, I don't know if it bugs me that our area, we think we're the premier, right? We think we're the premier of baseball in California. Yet I just found out River Park's not even going to be Little League anymore.
So what do they play?
They're going to play Pony or Ripken or whatever it is. So why?
Do they have their own?
Is it because now everybody's like, oh, we want to play Pony so we can lead off and have bigger bases and bigger barrels and all that kind of stuff? It's just like, dude, we were still Little League when Bullard, when I was going through it. Like, that was, you wanted to make it on TV.
Yeah.
In Little League World Series.
Yes.
And I think the closest team to do it in our area was
That River Park.
Fergie's team at River Park. They made it to San Bernardino and lost there to go. But I would just think that they would want to still be a part of it. Now, on the flip side, you look at all these teams, and I'm not talking about the international teams because they actually make their teams for the Little League World Series. Are these teams travel players just swooped in to play?
I have no idea.
For a team, because some of these kids, like, you would think they wouldn't play rec ball. Some of these kids you see out there, because
a lot of the mentality is they're too good for Little Leagues, Babe Ruths.
Yeah.
So a lot of kids don't play.
And this is what I see.
Around here, they don't.
Yeah. I'm just wondering, are these kids just picked up?
I don't know.
On All-Stars?
I've always thought it was weird that you have an international side with, Chinese Taipei or Mexico. And then you have like 7 or 8 American teams. Yeah. There's always an American team in the fight.
Well, I mean, we did have our USA 12U team that scored 400,
did they win
400 runs in the game.
That's been a minute.
I don't even know.
Did they win the gold medal?
I would assume so.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I forgot about that.
Maybe they didn't. We should look that up. They kind of just disappeared after that game.
Did.
Like, what? Maybe they didn't win.
There were people online, though, get like kind of with the same comments. Like, this isn't, it's 40 something to 3. Like, these are not.
Yeah.
These are the world's best, or is this just what we put together? I did see Cuba.
Well, I know you got to try out for it and all that stuff.
Cuba had their first team ever in the Little League World Series, correct? And then I see one of their coaches dipped out after they lost. Hey, he took his
Trying
shot.
to flee?
He took his yeah. I don't know if they ever found him or what, but
probably not.
That was Cuba's last run. Kind of talked about it before. And then in Major League Baseball, you've had Wander Franco was in the news for some scandal. Still haven't heard an update on that, but I would say that's done. Shohei Ohtani was probably the biggest news, I think. I don't know all the news, but that was a big one with the torn UCL.
Is it torn? I don't know.
Still the front runner, though, in the American League MVP. And you asked me a question, how? I've never
ask you that.
Well, you were saying how's he still hitting?
I tore my UCL. There was no shot I was hitting left-handed with like full extension. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's not a full. I don't know. I just don't know how he could be doing it. He's not wearing like Harper wore the elbow, brace or whatever to help not extend. Shohei's not even wearing that, so I don't. I have no idea.
Like, they came out with a statement like he still wants to pitch when he's all. This is his second one, right? I thought he'd had Tommy John before.
I don't know.
What do you think happens down under free agency? Obviously, his number drops, right? They were talking $500 million for this dude.
Dropping $500 million?
No, that's what I read speculation. Like teams were, they're talking $500 million to 700. I don't know if 700. I don't know if any of that's real. It's just people saying shit. But I mean, I none of these guys are paying out. Name a big contract that's fucking paying off. Like Betts is in an MVP contender in the National League this year.
But for the first time in how many years?
Since he's been in Dodgers uniform?
Yeah. The first time since he's signed that contract.
Signed that deal?
And that's been, 3 years, 4 years? 2020?
Is San Diego getting what they wanted out of the Machado deal? Trout's deal?
As much as we love
Rendon's deal? Might be the worst.
Harper. Strasburg.
Chris Bryant? All these big deals?
DeGrom.
Nobody's paying it out.
Scherzer.
So I wonder if people are now just, these owners are going to be like, who's paying out? Whose contract is really worth, well, I mean, we've said they weren't worth it from the get-go, but it's now shown none of them have been producing what the money they're getting. I'm sorry, they're not.
No.
I mean, the Mets go and spend all that money, and they traded everybody away. So I don't know. He is still the front runner, Ohtani, in the AL. I think there was a couple other guys in the mix there. Kyle Tucker has been talked about. Corey Seager has been mentioned. Also recently in the news, Julio Urias. I'm not quite sure the pronunciation. Also in some trouble. The Dodgers, it reported today, I saw it today, removed his locker. It said his locker has been removed from Dodger Stadium.
I'm sure they just meant all his stuff in his locker.
How funny would that be? You see a flatbed truck
with a locker on it.
Yeah, with a locker on it, pulling it out.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's going to hurt the team. I don't know what's going to happen in that situation. Other things, umpiring is still bad, if not worse, and it's September. And now I'm here. I've seen 2 in the last week. Players talking about we need the robo-ump. It's gonna happen, dude. I mean, we watch. Yeah, how bad has it been? Do you think it's done deliberate? They've never been this bad, consistently bad.
I think umpires have more egos now. It's not about just being happy to umpire and
go have a good game.
Yeah, let's go have a good game. Let's call it the way it is, and outs are outs, balls are balls, strikes are strikes. Now there's got to be something where everybody here to watch sees me. I think that's just what it's come down to, and it's gone down to we've seen it at high school. There's moments where it's like, where's the look at me moment from the umpire? It happens now. So rather than the old school saying is the good umpires are the ones you don't notice. They want to be noticed for whatever reason. So I don't know if it's deliberate or, I mean, those guys are getting paid a lot of money you're potentially screwing with players' money and livelihoods.
You can potentially do it. Yeah.
So,
or even teams, even outcomes of games. It's just I don't know. I've seen a lot of bad. I've seen more bad. And everything's so scrutinized now, and everything is so highlighted, and with the scorecards for these umpires after every game, like everybody sees everything now. Everybody has eyes on you. Mm-hmm. Like you would think, clean it up a little bit. Maybe we age out umpires. Somebody said that. We don't
age them out or take a percentage. Like, if you are under a certain percentage behind the dish for your season, or take it monthly, then you are no longer behind the dish, or you're suspended from being behind the dish.
Well, just like you can move players up and down.
Yeah, move them down. There you go.
Just move these umpires down.
Yeah. I guarantee you get a young buck in AAA dying to get to the big leagues, he will want to be that guy that's not noticed.
Right.
He won't care about making a statement.
Like, because you've seen it a bunch where an umpire gets pissed that he's getting blown up, as you should, because his zone's been ass, and then he rings the coach, or he'll ring a batter, he'll ring a pitcher, and it's like, well, who's ringing you, dude?
Yeah.
You're bad. You've been bad. You don't like getting called out because you're bad, so you throw them out? You run them? I don't know. I've always hated that.
I hate how they have all the power. Like, you can't say anything to them. They could potentially egg you on and say whatever they want. So
we'll see what happens. I keep seeing highlights of bad umpiring, or a tweet here, or a post there, something about how.
And there might be more. There's probably more good than
Sure,
bad. I'm sure there is, but
the bad's always more magnified.
Exactly.
It's always more magnified, and it's always going to be. It's like anything else.
Yeah.
Anything else, politics, you name
What's
it.
going to get a story?
Correct.
What's going to get everybody talking?
But it is critical, especially when you get into like the postseason and stuff like it. It matters. So that's why I think it continues to get like harped on and pinpointed out. And
maybe that's the thing, because normally they'd go on seniority for that stuff. Maybe they need to go off of other
who's
things.
had a good season.
Yeah.
You get the best umpires that had the best seasons. And
that's how it should be. It shouldn't be seniority. I think that should play a factor. Maybe if your numbers are there. If your numbers aren't there, you need the best umpires in the biggest stage of the game.
Yeah, I agree. Local stuff, too, with guys in the area. Gamboa still not gotten that call up yet. Guy's been dealing. Loop, for those that may not know, we're away, I think, when he got picked up by the Minnesota Twins. Dylan Lee was back. I believe he's still there, but he was been on the IL for quite some time, back up with Atlanta's rotation. I don't think there was any other updates on Dogs, baseball-wise. But also while we're away, and this isn't a football show, it's kind of an everything we can do here. Dogs football opened up at Purdue, got a big win on the road. And then this past weekend, kind of looked like you were there, won. Mm-hmm. So give us your run, your take, experience, the whole thing, because it's been a while, I think, since you've been to a Dogs game.
It's been a while. It was a 6:00 game, so it was nice for us. We got to leave. We didn't stay the whole game because we got a 1-year-old. We got to get to bed.
Hey, you took all the kids.
Yeah, the 1-year-old was the easiest one. She had a blast. It was fine. We didn't have a bad time at all. It was actually great time. I do have to say that Fresno State needs to figure out how to get people in the stadium, because we had one line going in on one area, and it shouldn't have been
getting it
line.
like actually getting.
We were actually getting in, and it had
through the gate.
It had a thing where like a metal detector, but it didn't work. But you had to go through that, and then you had a guy doing a wand, and it's like, what do we?
Didn't work.
No, it didn't work. It was just so people knew we had to go through that, and that's got to get changed. They need to figure out how to get more people in. If they got to have more workers or whatnot. I did hear guys complain about the bathroom situation with just how old it is, and like some of the water faucets weren't working. CJ did love that he got to pee in the trough. They had the little trough.
Old
there.
school.
He thought it was kind of cool.
Back like candlestick type shit.
Yeah. So it's old, man. It's just, it needs to be updated. The walking up the stairs and down the stairs was annoying. But other than that, I thought the game.
What about at kickoff? Was it better at kickoff with people?
I wish I would have made it in kickoff. But
you were. Okay.
I was in line for 30 minutes getting in,
trying to get in the gate.
Yeah, I was literally at the gate getting ready to get in. We would have made it in the kickoff. We were in line for 30 minutes for one freaking thing.
I will say, I did see a lot of people pushing onto Twitter about like, hey, let's be in our seats at kickoff.
I will say that judging from what outside. And don't get me wrong, I want to be that guy at kickoff. I want to be there we were trying. Because we got there literally at 5:45 to just go in. We just drove our car in and we got in line, and we still didn't even make it in time. But judging by the amount of people that were still in lines, still walking to other lines, and judging by the people that were still tailgating, I don't think there was a lot of people inside the stadium.
That kickoff.
Yeah, and that's just judging by what I saw on the outside. I wish I was inside to see it. I know some people threw some pictures up, and it looked good, but there was a lot of people outside still when we were trying to get in. I was disappointed in the play. I thought, Eastern Washington played a good game for them, but
was it a combination of both playing down?
We definitely played down,
and then them playing well. Like that was a good FCS team.
Yeah, but still, it's
and I believe
we're Fresno State. We should be able to handle it.
I agree. I did hear, and I don't know which coordinators are which. I heard there were some Fresno State coordinators on Eastern Washington staff, as well as like one or two transfer players. I don't know the details or exactly. I could be wrong, but
I don't know.
It looked sloppy, and it looked, like everybody. You read what I read online and people's complaints and people's, issue with how they played. They know.
I mean, a win's a win. I get that
for sure. I agree.
But right when they just came out with,
and you say that because I think in years past, and I've heard a lot of people say this, the Dogs find a way to lose that game in years past. They don't find a way to win.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, they pretty much almost found a way to lose.
They did.
They were up by, they shouldn't have let them back in the game. But anyways, I just feel like coming off Purdue, coming off they're projected to go 12-0, all that kind of stuff. And then you come out on military night, on a night where Jim Sweeney's being inducted into the Ring of Honor, and you play like that, like your first home game, and you fans have been waiting for this for, however long. They're excited about Mikey Keene. They're excited about mostly the defense. Dude, our offense. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry, actually, I guess.
Don't have to be sorry for anything.
We do not have weapons.
Not like last year. No, it was an overhaul.
I mean, when we start playing teams and they figure out, Brooks.
Well, you see the like losing Kelly. You see why that hurts.
That hurts. Our receiving core is small, not fast. Doesn't look fast compared to what we've had in the past, and it's just they're not open. I don't know. I just and then Gilliam stepped up as the running back.
Sherrod didn't. I don't think dressed out, right?
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's not the offense that I'm used to for Fresno State, I guess. You know what I mean? Like, we've always had a good receiving core. We've always had a good one or two backs. Our quarterback's always been pretty good. Well, our offense has always been not the question. Before, it's always been defense, and can we stop teams? Now it's just like, man, are we going to be able to score? Like, that's my concern.
Well, those are you losing Williams to Oregon. That's a big, that's your captain of the defense, and the defense is
Bailey.
Yeah, absolutely, lead that is now. But I'm just saying, it still hurts.
Yeah.
Same as Kelly. Like, there's another weapon offensively for Keene, and I think the running back situation is going to be okay. And I just feel like maybe they need more than Brooks.
Yeah, they do.
Or the guy Delana made a great catch. I want to say in the third or fourth, late in the game, down the sideline. Like, they need more guys like that to elevate, step their games up a little bit. I mean, I don't think it's. Obviously, you're 2-0. Like, you roll. You go into this week. It's a new week. That was an easy one to kind of probably put behind you. While you got to go and watch your tape.
It's not going to get easier.
No, but I'm just saying, like, as far as how we played, it's easy to flush, and like, we know as what I'm saying is they know they need to play better. They know they need to execute better and all those things. But I'm glad I didn't see a lot of the bullshit that I saw last year. When Hainer went down, and you saw that fair weather. A lot of people I've been seeing saying the same thing. Like, didn't play well, got the dub. Let's get prepared for next week. So far so good in the fan department.
And I think when I got home, I watched the rest of it.
And it looked like people stayed also.
But an hour and a half earlier game helps that.
People stay?
Yeah. 100%. A 6 o'clock game to a 7:30 game, you're getting home at 11 or you're getting home at 10.
Yeah.
9:30, 10.
Besides the Dogs, have you been watching any other college football?
Oh yeah, I've been following. I'm a big Prime guy.
You're Buffs now?
I'm all about what he's doing. He's doing it, dude. Everybody can say all they want about NIL and all that, and it does not matter. He believes in his players. He believes in what they're doing, and he's just, I don't know. I just like the way they're playing, and they're doing it the right way, and I'm rooting for him.
People are saying the real test will be Oregon. I don't know. The Pac-12.
He had a pretty good
first 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
At TCU and then at home.
TCU wasn't just a slouch. They were
and that was a
in
fight.
The national championship
That game was back and forth. That was it's a great first test for them, and then to follow it up with another dub. I like it too. I'm on board. I like Prime, but I liked him as a player.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like I always enjoyed, and I know he was a Braves play. Whatever, he played for a few teams, but I always enjoyed watching him play. I was always a fan of it. I love it. And I think most people generally do.
Yeah.
I don't see a lot of people trashing or hating on him. I see the media try to get at him sometimes, but for the most part, it seems like, fans of college football or most people I talk to have enjoyed it.
Yeah. What's bothered me the most is DirecTV.
What? I don't have DirecTV.
You don't have DirecTV. No. You're lucky. I don't get 2 local channels for sports. I don't get channel 24 or 47.
What?
So on Saturdays and Sundays,
how is that?
I'm not getting the NFL and I'm not getting the college games. Like I didn't even get the Thursday night game or
for NFL.
Yeah,
I think it's on NFL. Well, no, it's on 20. What I know it's on NFL Network. I didn't know.
I don't know. One of the Sunday night, maybe a Sunday night, I didn't get because it was on like 47 or whatever. Yeah, DirecTV is pissing me off. I need to call them, but I can't. Then when golf was going on, I couldn't even get golf. Because it'd go from the golf channel to channel 24 or whatever, and I couldn't get that either. They need to figure it out. They need to lower my damn bill. That's what I need to call and complain about it.
Tell them
I'm paying the same thing.
I'm pulling the plug. That usually works. And you saw Bama go down. Like that's always fun. It's nice to see Texas slowly just making their way back. I saw something that. I don't know who was talking about, but they said that Alabama football, maybe it was Joe Klatt, was saying that when the transfer portal came into existence, that ruined Alabama's run. And that's because he could no longer tell players all the good shit because they couldn't leave.
Yeah.
So you get them in, you sit them, they can't go anywhere. Right? And now they can leave. So the sweet talking doesn't matter anymore. So if you come in and you bullshit, I'm out. And that's, I don't know. I think there's some truth to that. I don't think that's the only reason. Other guys went at recruiting harder, the portal harder. I don't know. Look at that Prime. I think they said 63 or 68 or somewhere in there of new scholarship players.
And people say he came in and kicked everybody out. No, he did not. If you go back and listen, he said, I'm bringing my luggage, and my luggage is Louis. And he pretty much said, if you aren't going to be here, you can go in the portal. He didn't tell them they have to go to the portal because their starting safety, by the way, is a white guy, was not Prime's guy. He was there last year.
Yeah.
And he stayed, busted his ass starting for him at safety. And he's white, might I add again. And sure. He got an interception in game 1. He's been a great freaking defensive player for him. So, it's not – he didn't go in and just say, you guys are all gone. I'm bringing in – no. But I was talking to my chiropractor this morning about this. I was like, any coach gets a new job, they want to go in and they want to do things their way. And if they have to take – who wants to take a one-loss team and try to build that
Fix
up?
that? Yeah,
you know what I mean?
No,
you want to come in and be like, yeah, I'm bringing some dogs with me. I'm bringing some guys. We got to win now. I'm getting paid.
Well, with the rules in place now, why not?
Exactly. He did nothing wrong.
I didn't think it was Joe Klatt because that's what he's saying. You can be mad about it. He's doing what everybody else is doing. He just did it better.
At least he let him know early.
Well, and if you go back, there's a lot of stuff actually on what you're talking about of just booting guys. They said the majority of it was guys just left on their own.
Yeah.
He didn't pull scullies from players. There was a few, but for the most part, they all left on their own. So, I mean, there is some convos out there about that whole situation because I think people do have it a little twisted. But I'm with you on the Prime thing. College football, NFL is underway, so that's going to take the cake up until maybe the baseball playoffs. You'll see baseball back in the mix as far as headlines, and that's probably when you'll see more of us is when the playoffs start. Sticking with our baseball, I wanted to do. We've talked about the rules a little bit.
Do you want to do that college one real quick with Wilson?
Oh yeah. Because that plays into the NIL stuff.
Yeah.
And I saw this late last night, and I was totally with you. So what's the setup on this? What is the...
Greg Olson's just talking about how messed up college sports are right now.
Because of female...
Because of NIL, because of these NIL deals that this female... She's from North Carolina. She plays at North Carolina, tennis player. She played in the U.S. Open. Came in like the quarterfinals.
She earned prize money.
She earned $81,000, but since she was a college student... She was not allowed to get the tournament money. Yet, if she had an NIL
because of the
deal,
NCAA, right?
Yeah, okay. NC2A. But if she was at North Carolina and had an NIL deal for, swinging a certain racket for $81,000, that's okay.
Perfectly fine. Yeah,
but not her hard work is what he's talking about.
We can listen to this.
College sports right now is an absolute disaster. How about the girl in the U.S. Open? She was a Carolina tennis player. She made, the quarterfinals or whatever she made. She could not accept $81,000 in tournament prize money, but then the kid at whatever school can go do some bullshit deal with it and drive around in a Ferrari.
Yeah, NIL deal.
It's mind-blowing. Like, in what world? This girl at least earned her money.
Yeah.
These other deals are all bullshit. And these kids are making millions of dollars off fictitious arrangements. And this girl works her ass off to go to the U.S. Open and can't accept the money. But then these other, I think college sports right now is doomed. I think the whole thing's a mess.
It's true.
Is it? Yeah. It's not,
the point is that she earned it.
Yeah. And couldn't accept it.
Like, I'm sure some of those NIL guys are out there signing autographs or doing a commercial.
Are they?
Or here and there.
The little guy.
But yes, yeah. The Power Fives of the world is... here's a bag of money. Go win football games.
You threw for 500 yards. Here's an extra 5 G's.
I mean, you're not lying. That's crazy, dude. I don't know. I would like to get people's thoughts on that because to me, that's just ass backwards.
Yeah. Well, it's not making college sports. That was the fun about college sports was getting to the next level, like working your ass off to win and get to the next level. I mean, now you have people just making money for I don't know. It's not professional sports. When you're a professional athlete, you make money.
Well, here's the thing. If the NCAA permitted her to play,
she should have been able to have.
If you're allowed to play in it, why can't you I don't know, because you're an amateur athlete?
Because now she's considered a professional and then you can't go back to college?
Yeah, I guess I would depend. I don't know what her degree's in. I don't know any of those details, but
that's what I'm saying. She can go back and do a Nike commercial for the school and make $81,000.
Probably more.
Like,
yeah,
it makes no sense.
It doesn't make any sense. It's in
her hard-earned work can't get her money, but just some fictitious thing that they're doing.
Yeah, and I think people that listen to us would agree with you on that. College football's a mess, and that's something that makes no sense. Like, I think most people are in agreement with that. But it's the door they open, dude.
Yeah.
And nobody cares to fix it or not even fix it. It's here. It's not going anywhere.
Well, there's no rules.
There's no regulation to it. Like, it's just a free for all.
Like, no player can make, if you put a cap on what a player could make.
It's college sports, and that's what we're talking about, a fucking cap.
I mean,
it's college sports.
I'm with you.
It's professional sports now.
Yeah.
It's the minor leagues of the NFL. At some point, they may have to. I mean, these
Well,
guys
you're going to see people not going to the draft because they're like, dude, I'll just make more money, especially in baseball. They'll just make more money staying for their senior year.
Yeah, is there that much money to be made in NIL deals for baseball? I don't know. I mean, if you're a specific guy at a certain school, maybe. You know, we saw that with LSU.
Yeah.
Just to name one. Interesting talk. Again, I don't know if anything ever is going to happen or change or whatever. The NCAA is a weird thing. I don't think anybody's ever really got.
Even with having NIL deals from high school.
Even with the stuff going on with Harbaugh and him having to just all that bullshit. Like I don't know. None of it makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like they want to police some things and not other things. It drives me crazy. But we were talking baseball. The rule changes this year. One of them was the pickoff situation. And this one was talking about the Ranger. It was the Rangers and the Blue Jays. And the Rangers base runner on third base. The defense was shifted. The third baseman was ways away. And here, I'll just play it for you. Here you go.
A disengagement there by Bassett the first. The runner at third, Garver, and another step off, and that's the second. Garver almost halfway down the line. And now timeout requested by Smith, the batter.
So he's already stepped off twice.
He's halfway down the line, and now Bassett is going to try to beat him back to the bat.
That's a balk.
That's a balk. You can only disengage twice. If you do it a third time, you've got to get it out, or it's a balk.
I mean, that is playing the rules as the base runner. Like, it's within the rules.
Yeah.
What if that were like a playoff game? What if that the World Series?
That's
and again, why are you playing so far off third base? Really?
Yeah, just go put a guy over there.
Just go put him over there. Does that kind of shit drive you nuts or annoy you?
Yeah, because it's not baseball.
Well, that's what I wanted to get your take on.
You're changing the way the game's played. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm with you. I was and it's just different. Like in the news this week, and this is kind of what we were going to get to. And everybody's kind of hit on it. I saw Coach Batesel hit him pretty hard. Jared Weaver made a comment on it. It was George Kirby pitching for the Mariners. Had to go back out. Well, not had to. Was back out for the seventh inning of his start. They had They had a decent sized lead, and he struggled in his seventh inning, gave up some runs, and it was mainly his post game press conference comments that kind of got him. He got roasted by a lot of people, lots of people. As he should. But here's what he had to say. Let me pull this up here.
I didn't execute. He had a good pitch. I wish I wasn't out there for the seventh, to be honest. So I was at 90 pitches, and I didn't think I needed to go anymore, but it is what it is. So
is that a conversation in the dugout, or is it?
It'll be a conversation soon. Yeah.
Go ahead. You are played professional baseball. You've been inside professional locker rooms, had a manager. Like, you've been a part of that professional type system and the way things happen. Granted, it's been a while, so it's probably much different then than it is now. Obviously, the game's much different now as it was then. But when you first saw that, what was your thoughts? What was your take? Go ahead.
I mean, I think he's soft. And I think that if he really didn't want to go out there, he would have said something after his sixth inning. Because you see it all the time. You see pitchers come in. Do they just go sit down by themselves? No. The pitching coach goes over there. There's the catchers there.
Yeah, somebody's there.
They're always asking, like, how you're doing, how you feeling, you're at 90, whatever. Now, whether he lied to himself or lied to the pitching coach, I don't know. Again, I don't know if there was a conversation. But to me, he's at 90 pitches. He's in the sixth. There normally is conversations in the dugout about, you good? Or even just that only. You good? Yeah, I'm good. Well, okay, then you're good. Like, if you're not good and you don't want to go back out there, then you should have said that.
So you're saying that question was asked?
It had to have been. I feel like there's nowhere unless it's like the first, second, or third inning. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, the guy's rolling. He's got like 30 pitches or whatever. But when he's getting to 90 late in the game and he's coming around the lineup 3 or 4 times, that pitching coach or somebody's talking to him, asking, like, you good? You still go? How do you not want the ball? Like, there's not somebody that I've ever heard say that. Like,
well, and it's like he seemed confused as to why. You have a decent lead, and
they're trying to save the bullpen.
Trying to save the fucking bullpen. It's not rocket science.
I mean, that's like having 3 at bats.
I didn't
and
really want to be in there.
I didn't really want to be in there for my 4th at bat. So, you know.
So guess what? When it's game 7 and it's your start, coach ain't really going to want to put you in there.
No.
Like, right?
I wouldn't.
I read a number of comments that have been like, this guy would have been cut when I played. They would have sent this guy down.
He would have gotten knocked the fuck out in a lot of locker rooms back in the day.
Well, I mean, think about it. These guys go, pitch every 5 days. But listen, it's not easy. I'm not saying it is. But you got guys that are trying to play. Look at a guy like Austin Riley who plays in 160 fucking games. And one of his pitchers said that. Like, I'm out here dying for this.
Like, hey, that ground ball to me, I just didn't feel like going and getting it.
And to those that like, and it's fall right now around here. It's fall. Yeah. In our part of the world, it's the fall. Baseball and the younger ranks, high schools, they're doing their fall stuff. For those guys that are wanting the more opportunities in the spring, this is kind of where you earn some of those.
Yeah.
And that mentality, one will either get you cut or 0 opportunities.
Yeah.
I didn't really want to be out there for the 7th. Have you ever, when you played, did you ever not want to be out on the field?
No.
Did you ever want to be out of the game?
No.
Did you know any pitchers that would not want to be out on the mound with a lead, knowing, hey, I can go CG and give my bullpen a rest. Or he's 90 pitches, I can get to the 8th.
Yeah.
Like, it might be 2 less guys we got to use tonight. And that's where a lot of the selfish things. And listen, he apologized for his comments and like backtracked on it. And maybe he was frustrated, and that's going to happen. So maybe it was a real apology. I don't know, but that would bother me, even as a coach, dude. As a coach, especially,
it would bother me as a teammate.
What did I was looking at what Coach Bates said. I think I screenshotted it too because I just thought, whoa,
like, you didn't want to be out there. Then say something. That's then fucking say something.
Here it was. Coach Batesel retweeted it, and having said this, somebody tweeted, said, I'm speechless, and posted that video. And Coach Batesel, always jump in front of a truck for your teammates, no questions asked. This dude just made an actual decision. A veteran with juice in the clubhouse has to handle this. Release no matter the cost. Addition by subtraction. Bates is still fired up, which I love it. I do. And I also agree with him. Maybe you set a tone. Like, you send the guy down. Like, here, maybe you need a little more perspective, dude. You could not be here right now. How about that? If being up, like, again, Merton's one of the prime examples of a guy on deck not really wanting to get sawed off by that dude that he was going to face late in spring training to turn around the next day and not realize, that was going to have been his last AB.
Yeah. I mean, what if the organization be like, I just don't feel like paying you right now.
I mean,
you've been paid enough.
How do you negotiate?
You've been paid enough. We don't really feel like paying you anymore. What are you going to do?
Again, I'm sure, obviously he looked frustrated in the clip. I'm assuming his comments came out of frustration, but damn, dude. Professionals don't, that's just not, do you never see well, maybe, I don't know, Kurt Schilling. He had a couple outbursts. I think Clemens did as well. But those guys they're not George Kirby.
No.
Those guys. You know what I mean?
But they also didn't say they didn't want to be out there.
No, I mean,
they were more pissed off just about the outcome. And
the bloody sock? Come on.
Yeah.
Right? Nolan Ryan getting a piece back right in his face. I don't know. Again, different time. And not all guys are like that right now. Most guys never want to come out of the game. So, again, I think it was out of frustration, which is fine. That shit's going to happen. But I think you need to check yourself when, you know what I mean? Or hey, I just don't feel like talking to the media tonight. Much better off probably that stance than probably spouting what he did. And then, again, other comments that I saw, somebody made a comment about doesn't know why everybody's in love with the Baltimore Orioles. They're like the Kardashians. I don't know why everybody loves them.
The Orioles?
Yeah, right now. And it's maybe because they won 91 games so far.
In the quickest since 1976.
And they're 3.5 games ahead in the American League East.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something to be excited about as baseball fans. Right? Just as baseball, it's nice to see teams that are never in contention.
And not only that, like dominating.
To see the Red Sox and the Yankees as the bottom dwellers. Come on now. And you've got Baltimore and Tampa. Come on. Eliminated for the year, the A's, currently 45-99. The Rockies were eliminated 51-92. I believe there was 2 more. Chicago White Sox. White Sox eliminated at 55-88. Kansas City 44-100. The Angels are not yet eliminated, but
that's just because the West is
14 back. And your wild card picture, Tampa's leading in the American League, half a game ahead of Toronto. Really, there's only like 4 teams in the hunt there. National League, a little different. Cincinnati's 2 games back, but that's there's about 5 or 6 teams in contention there. So, again, as we get closer to the postseason, we'll probably do more stuff, definitely during the playoffs and World Series. But one thing I wanted to get to before we wrapped up, I saw this on Total Pro Sports, and I left it off yours because I wanted to give you the list without you knowing. And maybe we can make it more current. But it was the 5 most hateable players in baseball history, the 5 most lovable players in baseball history.
I could probably get them. I could probably get some.
You'll get the hated, I think. There's one that's very questionable. But
Bonds?
Bonds is one, yes.
Roger Clemens?
On the hated?
Yeah.
Okay, Bonds is one, yes.
Roger Clemens?
No.
A-Rod?
Yes. One of these you will not get, by the way.
Harper?
No. Think older. And I don't know if he's hated. I think baseball hates him, but I don't think the fan
Pete Rose?
Pete Rose is that's the one.
Wow.
Yep. And there's one more that you'll get. The last one, I kind of shocked me, to be honest with you. Disagree with this list on that end. So you got 3 of the 5 hated. We didn't talk about the documentary, but you mentioned he wrote a book.
Oh, Canseco.
Really? Canseco. And the last one, believe it or not, is AJ Pierzynski. I've
heard that. I've heard him not be
but like Carlos Gomez is pretty hated.
But I've heard that AJ Pierzynski, you hated to play against him, and even as a teammate, I heard he wasn't that great. I've heard that.
Lovable. This is
Trout.
But I mean, Pierzynski, you'd put on that list. Is there somebody else you could think of as more hateable? Like John Rocker wasn't more hateable than AJ Pierzynski.
But he was hated by, I don't even know who he's hated by.
Fan base, the Yankees. I mean,
AJ Pierzynski was hated by.
He had a longer career too. Longer career. I just thought that was an interesting one. I thought there was other guys that you could probably throw in that.
Yeah. It's 5.
Carlos Correa is not very well liked in this generation, considering the 17 stuff.
Machado's not liked. Joe Kelly's not, I don't know.
Interesting. Lovable. And again, this got some older guys in here. Roberto Clemente, Ichiro Suzuki, Ken Griffey Jr.,
of course, the best player,
Joe DiMaggio, and Ernie Banks. But again, you could probably add some new guys. I think Derek Jeter would be, he's retired.
I think now after the captain watching that,
I think Aaron Judge is a lovable guy.
Yeah,
Trout is.
Guys that don't do.
Is Tatis in the middle? Is a guy like Ohtani? You think more love Ohtani than don't? I think more people. I think he's on that list. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Talking about bombs in Canseco, we might as well bring up I haven't watched it yet, but go ahead. If you haven't watched Untold on Netflix, they had what was it called? Hall of Shame or some shit?
Yeah.
No, I didn't watch it. You did. You told me you wanted to turn it off.
I just thought this guy was trying to get fame for.
Was it the Balco guy?
Yeah.
But wasn't he, they did the A-Rod one was or Juiced or whatever it was called? They made a documentary with that guy in it. I thought.
I don't know.
Maybe it's a different. It was A-Rod's guy. Wasn't that the same guy, right?
I don't know. No, they're not the same guy.
Not the same guy.
'Cause his name didn't come up. And I don't know.
It was set up to make Bonds look guilty, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it made it seem that way.
Do you care?
No.
I know you don't care, but like, okay, even with the Hainer stuff, do you care? Even though it's in like,
No.
because like people are like tweeting on Jake Hayner's positive PED test, free Jake, or we got your back, dude. Don't worry about it. You'll come back stronger. All those which is great. But it tells me is that the people don't really care.
No.
But so why do they care when it comes to Bonds? Why do we
Because
care
he
so
broke
much
records.
about that's a great. That has to be it. Like even being a dick to the media is not enough. Like, because you got to put that aside. If you're a true professional at your job, those media members that didn't like him can't say, yeah, but that doesn't mean he doesn't belong.
Because how many stories did you really make that were good?
A shit ton.
But how many weren't a negative? Like, how many did you write that were positive?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you wanted to throw, every reporter out there wants a story. If it's a negative story, I'm going to take that and just go with it.
And usually those get the most talked about.
Exactly. So
I think you said it, though. That's a great point. I think if he hadn't broken a record, do you think it's still, like, the Hall of Fame still missed?
no. And like, same with McGuire. If he doesn't hit,
He doesn't break Roger Maris's record.
he's in the Hall of Fame.
He's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
It's really interesting because we'll never know. I mean, Bond, they can still get in by committee vote, but
I mean, look at Pudge Rodriguez. He didn't break any records. Jeff Bagwell didn't break any records. I mean, Craig Biggio, let's be honest. If you look at him in his career.
I mean, if you can assume one guy, you can assume all guys.
So, I mean, Pudge was in Canseco's book.
The thing is I just don't, nobody cares now.
I know.
Why do we care about it then? Why does it, like, again, I the Hainer thing, I saw, I was like, yeah, like, okay, I'm glad he's got positive support. So then people don't really give a shit about PEDs.
No, they don't.
So why are we still holding these guys to the fire? You know what I mean? We've kept them out of the pinnacle because we don't like them, or again, in Bonds' case, nothing proven.
Nothing proven. Even in the show,
In air
it
quotes,
wasn't like
proven.
His name was never on any documents.
So I also heard that when they were testing at was it Balco, they would use numbers. They had identified their athletes by number, so they could never correlate Bonds' name to a number or test sample, which is one of the issues I think they had in court. I could be wrong, but I'd heard that somewhere. I thought I read that or heard that from, some documentary or somebody talking about it. But again, I just don't see why it matters anymore. Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Like, I just don't. I think the majority of baseball fans would not, that watched him play, that watched these guys play, cheating or not, they will not argue the fact that they belong in there. Because at one point in time, everybody turned the TV on to watch him swing the bat.
A lot of guys. Look, Manny Ramirez is never going to get in. Go look at his numbers.
Yeah.
Just go do it. A-Rod's never going to get in. His numbers are insane.
Yeah.
And then you've got Bonds and you've got
Clemens.
4 or 5 of the best. Rafael Palmeiro numbers aren't bad.
No, 3,500.
Never getting in.
McGuire, Sosa should be in. It's like, I mean, Sosa hit more 60 home run seasons than anybody in the history of the game.
Not getting in.
And he's not going to get in. And the only reason nobody even realizes that is because the year he hit 60, 70 was already there. He hit like 67 when McGuire hit 70. And then he hit like 65. Like 3 years in a row, he hit over 60.
Yeah.
But the record was already broken, so like nobody even talked about it. But, I mean, you look at the numbers of the home run leaders in a single season, Sammy Sosa's up there more than anybody, over 60. So, I mean, Bonds hit 1 year over 50. It was the 73 season.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. And these guys will never get that recognition. And again, who knows where baseball ends up without some of that.
But like also watching that Balco thing, even the other athletes, what made them better at their sport, they still couldn't go play baseball and be good baseball players. Because steroids or not, you still have to hit the ball.
Yeah, you still have to work.
Your hand-eye coordination's still going to be, it's not going to get better because you took steroids. No, your hand-eye coordination gets better on the practice and the repetitions. So, like, whether Bonds was stronger or not. And you know what's funny is he was not even, if you put him in today's game, he's small back then.
Considering
he was like 220. I mean, Judge is 275 pounds, Stanton's 250.
Matt Olson.
Gallows 240.
Freddie Freeman.
These guys are humongous.
Austin Riley's a big dude.
Yes, they're bigger than Bonds was. But because of the time he played in.
Correa's a big guy.
Yeah.
Jose Abreu.
Like, that's what I'm saying. And, like, I don't know. You still have to hit the ball.
Tatis is a big dude.
You still have to hit the ball.
Yeah. No, I agree. I just think it's funny that, again, seeing those tweets on Hainer, and I realized, like, yeah, these people don't care. These guys are taking the hit, if you will, for Major League Baseball. Sucks, man. Sucks.
And I feel bad for Bonds because he wants to get in before Mays passes. That's his godfather. He wants him in there. So I feel bad for him because he did something in baseball that will never be done again, whether it's fair or not. We all wanted to watch it.
Yeah. Well, we did.
Yeah.
We did. Whether you wanted him to break the record or not, you watched it. You watched it. So, yeah, we'll see what happens as the years go. We've brought that up a few times over the years, and I think we'll always have the same stance on it. But again, as the playoffs approach, you will see more of us, hear more of us. And for Fresno State football, I got to shout out my guys. Beware of Bulldogs, Caleb Nail, Caleb Pletz. They are the official fan podcast of Fresno State football. So if you are a football guy, be sure to check them out. They do like 2 or 3 shows a week. They're crazy. But good guys. They go in depth. They do some pregame stuff, postgame stuff. They'll be doing basketball as well. And we're going to collab, do some stuff in the spring for baseball with them. So check them out. They are covering a lot of Fresno State football. And again, make sure you're following us. Appreciate you coming back after a little bit of a break from us. And that is another episode of the Hit or Die podcast.
Hit or Die.